Well, I've been kicked out of my near every bar around. I've been locked up for driving 120 through town. I've been shot at and cut with a knife, messing around with another man's wife. But other than that, we ain't nothing, just good old boys. Threw my boss out the window and got fired from my last job. Hot wired a city truck and turned it over in the mayor's yard. Beat my brother-in-law half to death. Lost $20 on his football bet. But other than that, we ain't.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Layden Carter Show. Let me guess. You did that. You did that.
I did it all. Why do you sound so like? Did you hear that, Commander?
Look at the background. Look at the screen.
You didn't do that.
You didn't do that one.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go. No, wait.
If you don't touch it, I'll just take care of it in the mornings.
No, you got to do output 2, media player 1.
I just did.
Well, it didn't change for you, just so you know.
Also, the screen behind y'all is messed up. Oh,
Yeah, that's
there it is. No, it's not. It's messed up. It's like that's like saying the plane crashed and it was messed up. It's
I mean, it was
pilot
an interesting
error.
look.
It was. It lets folks see the technicalities of what we deal with.
Yeah. Mark Kurtz, Ricky King, Scott Tomko on the podium this morning. Scott going to gloat about his Stars hockey half-minute win. Stars beat the Flames 5-2. Flames thoroughly outplayed. No shot the Stars.
Like a direct. That's like a head-to-head for you.
Yeah.
Well,
no, because I'm not a big Stars fan. I mean, I'll watch their games.
You're not a Flames fan?
Oh, I'm a Flames fan.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So what I'm saying is,
me and him. Yeah.
Yeah, Scott Tomko.
Teams,
yeah, it's not Rangers Flames.
No,
I know your teams, sir. I'm just saying that Scott Tomko. For you, that was a big day. For Scott, it was just another win on the road to the Stanley Cup.
That's where the Flames are and the Stars are.
Absolutely, the Stars just rolling.
Stars are a cup contender.
Mike Madonna, still 28, out there making it happen.
Great hair.
Juan Soto. Let's just go right into the first.
Let's do the weather because that's on everybody's mind.
Folks, I tried to lighten up a Friday. Instead, you want to bring this out. 64 degrees and cloudy, heading for a high of 77 with a 90% chance of rain.
Yeah.
Now, the good news is the great folks at Dearland Feed are there for you all day today and tomorrow till what? Till lunchtime?
Noon, yeah.
And you can go by Dearland Feed, get everything you need for your yard, everything. Ambassador?
Yes.
Everything you need at Dearland Feed. You will be thrilled. It's just a fun place to go walk around. Tell the truth.
It's cool. It's got that old. When you walk in,
aroma.
Yeah, or reminds me of like old hardware stores. All had that.
Absolutely.
Smell. Old pharmacies all had a certain smell.
Absolutely.
When you walk in there, you know where you are.
Old pharmacies smell like old people.
You could be blindfolded and walk into AT Dearland. You might not know exactly what store you're in when you walk in, but you're going
Dearland
Feed store. Feed store.
I mean, man, if you walk in there and breathe deep through your nose, like you won't have to trim your nose hair for like 6 weeks. It's like getting waxed for a man. But Dearland Feed is, I mean, those of you that know me, you'll understand this. I feel like a grown-up when I go there.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a grown-up. Let's make no bones about it. I'm still a child. But I go into this place. Hey, not so fast there, buddy. Yeah. Not so fast. No, you must join. Unbelievable, sir. You really? Okay, next week lunch. I'm on the commit list. Folks, Judge Posey just came in.
You wouldn't have an opinion on Trump's executive order regarding proof of citizenship to vote?
I have opinions on everything.
Hey, we love you, sir. Thank you for coming by. That's unbelievable. That's our own Judge Posey.
Up the stairs, down the stairs.
26 stairs, sir.
He's trying to get
going down.
He's trying to get his steps in this morning.
Well, he's got them in. I'd go home and take a nap. Are you kidding me?
I think he's taking the dog.
He's taking the dog with him. The dog may follow. Well, that's our own Judge Posey. By the way, just if you are interested, I can still get you one of those cards from Ryland that has all the different discounts and things. But that the judge is awesome to come up here over $20. Sure do appreciate that. And he's already checked into the program.
He's double dipping. He's good.
But if you get a chance, jet by Dearland Feed, and you'll know what I'm saying. They still have 99-cent. And I've compared it at other stores. I really have looked for the little red funnel. At best, it's $1.69 somewhere else. Nope. And I'm telling you that if you'll go in there and grab that little red funnel, you
won't be disappointed.
They absolutely know it's a Wade and Carter deal.
So
good morning, everybody. Welcome to the program. Astros. Let's just do that.
Let's just do it right into it.
Astros Minute. First State Bank of Louise. Friendliest bank anywhere, right? They're big enough to know what to do, and they're small enough to call you by name. Great folks. It's awesome. Caden, 2 years ago, we put in a checking and savings account for Caden, and I can literally take a check for Caden. He'll write his account number on the back, and I just go drop it in the, and they just say,
tube.
They go, thanks, Brent. Have a good day. And I mean, they get it. They're nice folks. It's an extension of your home, and they are really good folks. Astros win last night 3-1. They were up 3-0. My stars of the game, Fromber, who is just a quality start machine, right? So quality start, he's 6 innings and 3 or fewer runs.
He's won 4 straight
opening days. He's a rock star. Riker, come back in here. And he's done great things. And first at bat, there's a ball ripped at short, and Jeremy Pena jumps up and snags it like it was just butter. It was great. Isak, his name's not Isaac. It's Isak Paredes, played third and really had a couple of layout plays, some great defense. Not going to lie.
Till he goes to play in Toronto, then it'll be Isaac Paredes.
Yeah, absolutely. Not going to lie. I missed Bregman yesterday. I have no idea what he did yesterday in his Red Sox opener.
I don't know.
We can look that up, though. It was my hint. But Astros played well. Brian Abreu comes in the 8th, immediately gets 2 outs, and then decides just to walk the bases full. Okay. So they finally get out of that inning, and then they bring in Josh Hader, who last year was just the best $19.5 million the Astros have ever spent. And they get Hader in there, and he struggles, gives up a run, gets the bases loaded, but really, really pitched well when it mattered. Bregman goes 0 for 4.
Off to his usual
and struck out
start.
Once. And Boston's not going to stand for that. The Boston fans will be on him about a week from today. But the Red Sox win 5-2 over the criminal.
Everybody's picked to win the AL West.
0-1. Yeah, everybody wants to go out on that limb and say I think the Astros win the AL West.
Astros on pace to win 162 games.
That's what's worth noting. And the trend shows. I mean, if you can judge President Trump
And then, I don't know what's going on. There's some weird stuff.
I don't know.
I thought we'll see. Anyway, trying to get back. It looks like we're live again.
There we are. We are live. And Melissa Hanson, Stephanie's show says, I'm going to 95.9. And that's always a great alternative. And we're probably, no, we weren't live on YouTube at that point either because we were gone. Linda says we're gone, but now we're back.
Yep.
We're back.
We're back.
Are we back, Commander?
Thank you, Melissa Hanson.
There you go. Thanks, Scott. Thanks for the heads up.
So,
you didn't miss anything. I just opined that the Astros are really, really good, and I'm surprised that more teams don't have times, Monty Howard. I'm surprised where teams don't win, 130 games.
So the 2001 Mariners and the 1906 Cubs have both won 116 games. That's the highest at this point.
And neither team won the World Series. I'm pretty sure the
Cubs 16, maybe that was the last time they won it until they won it in.
Yankees won in 98, 114. And in 2002, the Dodgers won 11.
The Dodgers are such
2022.
The Dodgers are such a fluke to me because they always win 100 games, don't they?
Yeah, seems like it.
It seems like they always do. Odd to see Blake Snell, the longtime Padre, on the mound for the Dodgers last night. Was he with them last year too?
I believe.
Just odd. Opening day starter, almost an untouchable guy. He was really good.
Was he there last year? I don't know.
I don't know. Scott Tomko just referred to the Commander as stat man.
I don't follow baseball like I used to.
He's just a data genius. That's one thing I'll give him. He can find things, which, by the way, it's a great time for us to say, brand us. Reach out to Cody. And here's the deal. I'm gonna let you see behind the curtain. He may give me the stink eye over this. You can bring him in. Watch, I'm gonna put the camera on him so that he will observe what I'm saying. He drinks that quart of coffee every day. But the Commander is a guy.
He had to because he was all thumbs this morning with a soda.
That you can bring in. Yeah, the puppy's here. And when Cody walked in, he's like, hey, boy, how are you, buddy? And all of a sudden you hear clunk, and he knocked the cherry soda out of the Commander's hand. And you can look, that's a formidable hand. Look at that. It's like a bear paw.
Ham Hands. I knew a guy once, his nickname was Ham Hands.
But anyway, with those 4 bratwurst and a Vienna over there. But Commander is a guy that you can reach at Brand Us on Facebook, and you can bring him into your business, especially hint, hint. And he can just he's a walking, talking like AI machine. Yeah. He can clean up your processes. He can clean up things for you.
And the best part is he'll just start squatting in your space. And then next thing you know, he's just part of everything.
You don't realize it, but he's got about 500 square feet of our 400 square foot studio. He is a guy, though, that you can use short term to change the way you do things, and you'll benefit from it long term. So
one of the things that we're really doing right now a lot is that we're going in and helping people understand what they're paying for every month, even if they're not going to work with us. Is saying, is what you're like a consulting, like, is what you're doing working? And is this what you should be doing? Is this the best way to spend your money every month?
I don't recall asking him this question.
Well, that's my question to you. Now, that's just me and you talk for a second. It's one thing for us to shamelessly promote him. It's another thing for him to interject factoids. I mean, what are we going to get out of him now? What's the next level of his sponsorship?
I don't know.
I have a banner in my car.
Unbelievable. There's going to be every time we put the camera on him, it's going to say Brand Us, call now, Commander 4, and then you can just interchange like school board, city council. He can just hang up whatever he wants.
I control the website. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Greg Garcia says his fondest memory is going to pick up baby chicks from Deerlums as a kid. The smell is still vivid in his memory. That's awesome. Greg, I'm proud to say that at the age of 62, I have some more fond memories. But no, I know what you're saying. You're saying your fondest memory of Deerland Feed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Okay, wait, now count. Okay. Callie Frommy just
Snell
comes
was
in
with
on,
the Giants last year. That's right. I
Thank you.
forgot he was no longer. Yeah, he left the Padres. I forgot.
Callie Frommy says the far left nut job. Now, right off the bat, we know
Yeah.
that she's a conservative, then, right? The far, as
Or
opposed
just
to-
calls them as she sees them.
we are shamelessly neutral here at Wade and Carter. So you're typing in Tesla nut job. Okay, yeah, get that on the screen. That'll help. There you go. That way, folks that are watching know the subject matter that we're talking about. Now, go back to the quote. Far left nut job who attacked the Tesla facility in Las Vegas was in possession of multiple firearms and ammo. I'm so confused. I thought the lefties were in the guns bad camp.
Well, watch what's going to happen here, Callie. They're going to frame this kid, this guy, this person as a MAGA extremist.
Right. And he's doing this to make the left look bad. That's what's going to happen. Yeah. But isn't it interesting how the left is being, and nobody is more malleable than the political left. I mean, for example,
everybody knows this is some leftist idiot.
Yeah, of course. But nobody's more malleable. Normal people. On Breitbart this morning, the guy said the things that we're talking about in the Supreme Court these days were the premises for Monty Python skits 30 years ago. The dude in the dress, Klinger on MASH. I mean, the whole humor of it all back in the day, the unfathomable nature of the idiocy is now mainstream to the point that, well, they've got rights.
Well, they were making fun of that 50 on MASH, right? Klinger was trying to get
a Section 8.
Yeah, mentally disqualified from serving in Korea, and because back then it was a mental illness.
And it still is a mental illness. We've just become either apathetic or way too tolerant. And the left is like,
well, because we mainstreamed the crazy,
right?
And we threw them on the streets. So we had no choice in a lot of cases. And now, they're going to build a mental health facility out by the airport here because they realize that 30 years later, after letting them all out, oops, that was the wrong thing to do.
And it's been reported that the Democrats of Victoria are going to lease space in that building where they can hold their meetings and then occasionally just go ahead and admit someone right on into the facility.
Well, I was thinking either that or that's where they could find the next chair of the Democratic Party of Victoria.
No doubt. Makes me think back to what a great gentleman and what an overall nice guy and a guy that embodies what the Democrat Party used to be, should be,
common sense.
Woodrow Wilson Wagner, who just said, I got to go, man. I just can't deal with you idiots anymore.
How about the politics being played in New York State? And I think you and I questioned this move when President Trump first nominated New York Representative Elise Stefanik to be the ambassador to the UN because it took a really good congresswoman out of Congress.
Right.
And now New York Governor Kathy Hochul is, and we're going to get to that, Stephanie Conti, we're going to get to that. But New York Governor Kathy Hochul has said that she's going to slow walk the replacement or the election of Stefanik, and that could put the balance of power in Congress
right
a little bit less or more tedious, I guess. So President Trump has basically recalled that appointment, saying that he needs Representative Stefanik in the House to make sure stuff gets done. So he's not afraid to walk things back. But there's the politics at play, and Hochul is just an idiot. What was the other thing? The executive order that will require proof of citizenship to register to vote in federal elections. How can anybody be against this? I don't care.
I do have to ask that. How can you rationalize in 2025 being against the idea that you have to present some type of proof of identity?
Brazil and India's
got a lot more people than we do. They make it work.
And they have more secure. In fact, I think their voter ID is tied to biometrics in both those countries, from what I was hearing this morning. I don't want to get to that point. Oh, you got to do a retinal scan.
Bluetooth button. Now push the button over there. Yeah, I want to. It's not loading me up. I was just a bit. Here it is. Now it's loading me up. I really wanted to suggest. I didn't mean to interrupt you, and I apologize. I mean that. But I would like to encourage anybody who wants to call, and I'll make it self-deprecating. If I have said something really egregiously stupid this week, and or you think that you're funny, feel free to call us, 894-4020. Or if you want to call and talk about the greatness that is Ash, the Tom Brady of radio, if you'd like to call and talk about the greatness of Ash, feel free, 894-4020. Oh, yeah, our democracy is at risk. Al Sharpton sparring verbally with the representative the other day. He goes, Al, I got to remind you, we're not a democracy. Oh, we're not a democracy? What you talking about? And he said, well, we're a constitutional republic and words matter. And the way that things get done in a constitutional republic aren't exactly. The Dems are all for it because the Dems want to say one person, one vote. We're doing everything by a popular vote. No more. That's why, because we're a democracy, but we're not. And we're not by design. We're not by initiation. Founding fathers once again proving that they had divine.
Oh, they understood that mob
divine
rule
intervention. That's right.
In a pure democracy could be problematic.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's right, Scott. It says just like the illegals, the left didn't care about vetting when they were coming in, but they want them vetted before deporting.
Yeah.
And they wanted them to come in because they thought, and there's no doubt about this as a strategy, if we can get enough of them in here, we can overwhelm the system. And the country is so lazy. What we'll do is we'll just give them all citizenship, and then we'll have them voting Democrat forever.
Well, it's amazing. After the election in November, the only ones crying for potential voter fraud were the left because they lost. But it's absolutely apparent that a lot of shenanigans and skullduggery and snookerisms went on in 2020. Because in 2024, there were no videos of trunks full of ballots showing up.
Right.
There were no widespread reports of voter observers or ballot observers not being allowed into areas where they should have been allowed in to observe. None of this stuff.
Because it was all
right?
made up the first time.
2020 you've got to be an idiot to not think that shenanigans went on in 2020 to jack with the election and the outcome. I'm not even sorry if you believe nothing happened, because none of those reports took place in 2024.
And the left is the first one to say, what happened to the 15 million voters that were there last time that aren't there this time? The fact is they were never there. You can look at the trends. 72 million voted, 76 million voted, 91 million voted, 74 million voted. Yeah. It was all bogus. It was all computer generated. Hats off to Peter McNally. You're right, sir. Huge Texas Tech fan. Texas Tech wins last night, 85-83.
In overtime.
Over Arkansas, who has done well. But it's really not an upset on paper, right? Tech was a 3 seed. Arkansas was a 10. But Arkansas had been rolling.
Yeah, they've been playing really good.
Tech played great basketball. Now, I don't know who they play next. We'll look at the NCAA tournament.
No, they're in the Elite Eight. Yeah. I don't want to open that up again because that's when I was trying to find spring or opening day stuff, and the whole world shut down.
Right.
So we won't do that.
Remember when? Yeah. How about
Junior says, then a census comes in and the representation shifts in their favor. Yeah, well, and then the Census Bureau comes out after 2020 and says, oops, we may have miscounted. Right? Yeah, now there's talk that I know the census has to be done every 10 years, but can it be done within that period to try to get the numbers right? And then the left's going to go, well, that's election rigging by the Republicans.
Absolutely.
Well, when the Census Bureau basically admits that they screwed up and they may have overcounted in some states, mostly blue.
There you go. Should we take the quick aside about Roberto?
And that's what Monty Howard says. The other plausible explanation is less about voting, but more to get the census and congressional seat allocation.
I wonder what you folks do actually feel. I know where we live, it's not really an issue, and thank goodness that it's not. But what do we do when the left is getting rallied up into a frothy frenzy and they are getting more militant and they are getting more aggressive? What do you do with that?
I don't know.
Because I think that I look at the left like I look at the French. After a couple of them are popped, the rest are going to run for the hills. And
the one guy seemed to be armed to the teeth in Vegas.
Then just should have been put down like a rabid idiot dog. Put him down.
Andy Rockovich says, I saw it firsthand in 2020. I saw a woman stuff in a ballot box. It was basically in a park in Lancaster, PA. In 2024, they removed the random drop boxes and had permanent locations. Night and day difference between the two elections. Absolutely.
Peter McNally says Signalgate not going away
it's
easily.
Going away.
It's because the public at large is fairly dumb.
How about the test? Yeah. Anyway, we probably need to take a break. But man, there's so much to get to.
Lots of stuff to quick hit on today. Go.
Oh, you want me to go?
Sure,
Veracruz,
man.
last day of the week to get in. If you don't today, you can't till Monday. So get to Veracruz today and enjoy. It used to be Chicken Fried Fridays, but you can have a chicken fried steak there any day of the week now. But it still makes for a nice weekly rendezvous at Veracruz to go in and get a chicken fried steak. And they'll smother it with queso for you too if you want.
You can dial 578-HOME anytime. Somebody will answer. Charlie Garcia and his team will come out and give you a quote to sand it, seal it, stain it, paint it, whatever you need done with your concrete. You want a tough as nails polyurethane coat that won't crack, stick, peel, or fade?
Nicely done.
They'll take care of that. Allen's Wrecker Service, 578-6300.
Give Alan a call for all your if you're in the unfortunate situation where you need a tower or wrecker, give them a call. But they'll also come and pop a lock for you if you lock yourself out. They will jump your car if your battery's dead.
I still have people ask that will reach out to me and go, "What's that number for Allen's again?"
What is that number again? Remind the people.
578-6300. Wade and Carter, Victoria's concierge. White Trash Services, White Trash Site Services. Remember when you could dial 411 and get info?
Yeah, except nobody tips us for our concierge service.
We're just slaves to the public.
But we don't have the end of the good tickets either.
There you go. White Trash Services, 550-1826. Reach out to them and let them help you. Whether you're in the county and you need trash service, if you're in the county, you need trash service.
Absolutely.
Let them be the provider.
Although now you can burn it with the weather we've had.
Yeah, that's appropriate.
You know,
just fire it up. Smoke them up, Johnny. Reach out to White Trash Services today. The chopping block. Still got the ballpark sirloins, baseball sirloins. They're beautiful, beautiful, deep red beef. The taste of sirloin is really good. If you marinate these at all, just tender them up a little bit. I mean, sirloin is sirloin, but it's great flavor.
Yeah. Picanha is still on sale, roasts and steaks.
$9.99 a pound.
And they've got marinated, I think the roasts are a little more, and they've got marinated and non-marinated fajitas as well as fajita pinwheels. Those are really good.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah.
Put those on the grill and eat them. Palace Bingo over the weekend. You can get out. Friends meet friends at Palace.
I think tonight's a late night bingo, right? Friday night.
Is it?
I think so.
Can you have 3 beers? Woo!
Right.
Unbelievable. You hear people walk in there and you hear the clink, 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 because they got those little airplane bottles in their pockets. Palace Bingo, rowdy Friday night. Dollar Floor Store, go by and check them out. In fact, I'd love for you to go by and just say, man, I'm thinking about redoing a bathroom. I'm going to put down a little brighter tile, make that room seem bigger. Go by and see Dollar Floor Store and let them know, hey, Wade and Carter, sent me. That would mean a lot to us. It does mean a lot when you tell our people, I was listening to you on Wade and Carter, and I want to give you a call.
I'll tell you what, you will not find flooring. You may go in there not even knowing what you want, but but you know you need flooring. You'll find something that is absolutely amazing at the best price anywhere. So get into the Dollar Floor Store and you're shopping Texan.
Yep.
Matt Boucher, good morning.
Junior Samples comes in with the deep thought. That chicken fry is really good.
Oh, it is.
It's good, I tell you. You can almost hear the banjo music in the background when Junior talks, can't you?
Yeah. So
Stephanie Conti comes in with a deep thought.
Yeah, NPR, the testifying at NPR, this was the most telling thing that came out of that when she was asked just how biased her newsroom was.
Yeah.
She thought that maybe 70-30, 60-40 split among registered Republicans amongst the 87 reporters in their newsroom.
Right. What was it?
87-0 registered Democrat voters
work at PBS?
Work at NPR. I think it was NPR. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Worked at NPR.
Well, it's just words matter, and people ascribe. I think more and more people, and I'm not even humbly submitting this. I'm telling you, we've been right so many times. So many times we brought you information before it was ever in anybody's newspaper, and we've given you hypotheses that have played out, whether you like it or not. We've told you in advance about COVID, about Biden, all the things, you know it. The reality is maybe you ascribe a little credibility to us, and we appreciate it. But I ascribe credibility to NPR. I want to believe it's an unbiased. It's not an extension of the government. And when they say things like, when they talk about the insurrection, when they talk about the attack on democracy, it starts to get into your psyche and you start to believe it. And then even though you knew that it wasn't an insurrection, you knew that democracy was not under attack, you feel sheepish about saying that to anybody in public because you feel like everybody else thinks it was an insurrection. And that's how they control your mind. They being Hitler's regime, they being Trump's regime, if Trump finds a way to control the media to that level. But the media in general does a good job of taking to task these things.
Yeah. Except
that when you find out that in theory, unbiased source is 87-0. When those people are talking around the water cooler, do you think anybody there plays the what if game? Well, what if Trump's right? No, he can't be right.
No,
he can't be right. He's Donald Trump.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Quickly, I mean, I heard some stories and headlines that just were questioned, and they were just like, they were reeling, trying to figure out and defend why they reported things the way they reported them. Johnny Houghton has a good point. Can someone tell me what classified info was given on Signal? No date, times, location, sources, units, method of execution. Yeah, what did they say? Somebody somewhere who's a target is going to get bombed in about 20 minutes was basically what was leaked. And the only reason it ever came back to, they were talking about the Houthis because Jeff Goldberg then realized that, well, there was a strike in Yemen against Houthis, so this must have been what they were talking about. There was nothing I've seen that shows the location and who the target was other than, well, we confirmed the bad guys are where we want them to be, so let's go ahead with it.
So I'm going to indulge my own ego today. Tammy Keeling asked, what was January 6th in your opinion? How would you describe it? Based on what I've seen in some of these Northwestern towns and in big cities, I would describe it via the media as a mostly peaceful protest that was disrupted by a small group of aggressive, idiotic trespassers who should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. It was not an outreach of the Republican Party. It was not an attack on democracy. I never for a moment felt like my democracy was at risk.
It was the winter solstice of love. That's what it was.
That's what it was, because they're all just the few people that did silly things, stupid, irresponsible, illegal things should be prosecuted. But they should have been prosecuted. They shouldn't have been held in a jail without being charged. Nobody has been indicted on the term of insurrection since January 6th. Everybody in the media referred to it as an insurrection, yet nobody, not one person, has been indicted as an insurrectionist.
if I'm not mistaken, they were charging people simply for being in the vicinity because they posted things on social media about it.
That's right.
Prior to going there.
Monty Howard agrees completely. Thank you, sir. I mean, again, Monty Howard just very smart.
But we've been consistent on this. When I watched what was going down live, and there's a bunch of old ladies basically off the tour bus in the middle of the rotunda.
With like the red hats, literally with the red hats, walking through with their cameras. Oh, look, that's George Washington. Click. They're taking pictures. I've seen video where the security guards are going, come this way, come this way. They're leading a group of people.
They opened doors.
Tammy King says, so you agree with the January 6th pardon for those trespassers? I never said such a thing. I said trespassers should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. But I do think that Trump's pardoning of those people after being held without being charged for a year, 2 years, people in Dallas, Texas were rounded up at their homes and taken away. If that's the case, then I think that the punishment fits the crime, and I think they've been in jail long enough for being trespassers. That's what I think. And they
didn't kill anybody. They didn't shoot law enforcement.
There wasn't millions. They didn't go in with paint and deface the Capitol, yet these leftist fools go into the Louvre and deface things. I find myself wondering, I just don't buy it, man, that all these Capitol policemen are committing suicide. The reality is, and it'll come out one day, these people were done away with. They were used by the left in a program that was promoted and provided by the left. And when they were done, their usefulness was done, and they killed them. No way 5 cops committed suicide over January 6th. If you're dumb enough to believe that, then you deserve the left as your leadership.
We could use the internet and security cameras to find and identify the guy that shot the CEO from United Healthcare.
We can't identify the trespassers.
And we can't find Ray Cook or whatever his name was, the guy supposedly from Arizona that was sort of like the FBI plant in all this. We can't find him and bring him in for questioning to figure out exactly what his role is when good people on both sides want to get to the bottom of this with him.
Trump didn't let those people go because they weren't guilty of trespassing. He let them go because Nancy Pelosi and the left orchestrated the entire event, held those people without charging them, did not give American citizens due process in a timely manner. And he made the determination, which I agree with, that as trespassers, now I'm not talking about the people that were hitting cops I'm talking about people that were arrested just for being in the building.
Or around the building.
They got arrested. Those people should be set free.
Or even posting things about it. They were going after people. I mean, you really want to talk about your freedoms being infringed upon. They weaponized the DOJ and the FBI to go after people simply for what they were thinking and saying.
Tammy Keeling with hearing issues says the left killed the security. They didn't commit suicide. Is that what you said? Yes, that's what I said. That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you that there is no way that the post-traumatic stress issues associated with January 6th led those 5, 6 now police officers. Some died of natural causes too. They're heart attacks.
One, I believe he had a stroke.
Come
or a heart
on,
attack
man.
After the fact.
Yeah,
right?
they said he committed suicide, but he died. They said he died at the event. There's no doubt. Yeah, Jarrett McCrugan, 100%. He says all the JFK assassination witnesses and Clinton people were suicides as well. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Mike Gomez, good morning,
Ray
sir.
Epps, thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, Ray Epps
Roy
is his
Cook,
name.
whatever.
I think you're going to see Kash Patel at some point definitively state whether or not they believe that Ray Epps was an FBI plant by the left. That he was there. He's the only guy that kind of got like a slap on the wrist at the time and was let go, but yet he was one of the most vocal people.
See, this is the danger of the left, and Tammy Keeling just exposed herself. Just because you didn't hear it doesn't mean it wasn't said. No, He didn't say anything you were supposing that he said until you questioned him on it. And I don't believe that.
You don't believe what? That the left killed him?
I don't believe the left killed him. I believe somebody killed him. I don't think they work for either side. I think they work for the swamp, whoever suicided these folks.
Okay. You know what? So I'm not saying the Democrats. You're right. The people that orchestrated the quote unquote insurrection,
which just happened to mostly be Democrats, but
are the people who killed those guys that are now being labeled suicide victims. Let's look at it like that.
I mean, think about it. Clinton kills somebody, suicides themselves after Clinton, and they rule it a suicide with 2 shots to the back of the head.
And when they found the guy's name was Foster. Yeah, Foster. Foster was a guy who had left a file on Hillary's desk, and they found him dead. And I'll tell you why, Mike. They found him dead. And he was dead of suicide, and yet his body, there was no blood at the scene. This guy was dumped over there. It's hard to dump yourself when you commit suicide. Mike Gomez asked a thoughtful question. Why would the left kill him? The left or the swamp or whatever, anybody other than Republicans is my statement. Why would others kill him or be upset on the day that they won? That's why, because they don't ever want anybody to say, hey, man, after 20 years, and by the way, Trump turned this country around and J.D. Vance served 2 terms, and now it's 2040, and I kind of need to admit that, man, they gave me $1,500 to let those people in. Well, who's they? Well, it wasn't the Republicans. They can't have that.
Because they
can't have it, so those people are eliminated.
Because they didn't want anybody looking into
that's right,
the voter fraud and the election scams that are so evidently in play in 2020 now that we look at the voting numbers and realize that was the only year, boom, we saw a spike
absolutely
of astronomical numbers.
Yep. Bombing targets are top secret. Peter McNally.
But from what I've seen,
there were no targets
stuff,
mentioned.
They never mentioned where they were going to kill people.
Yeah, they didn't say that.
But
and by the way,
how
many of you even know that we bombed the Houthis again last night? Who cares? Seriously, they made a mistake. They've learned from it.
Joe Biden apparently the Houthis haven't learned from it. Bomb the heck out of them.
Yeah. Mike Gomez says conspiracy theory that is not backed up by any credible evidence. That makes you a kid to Alex Jones. Okay.
Yeah.
You tell me why.
I think you meant akin typo.
But
whatever.
I apologize. I should have read what he meant. I mean that. That makes you akin to Alex Jones. Okay. I mean, you can believe that. I mean,
Alex Jones is a conspiracy
no doubt about it.
But we tend to look at things and base off observation. And I'll be honest, I don't trust much of anything the FBI has to tell us these days.
Yeah.
And when you can let one Jack Rubenstein walk into the bottom of a police building in 1963,
who was already a criminal, was known well by the Dallas Police Department
and others, and just shoot the lone suspect in the killing of a president
who had announced I was just a patsy.
Yeah.
Jerry McCrigan, this is a beautiful comment. He says there's an officer, Dallas police officer, who testified. He saw Oswald leave the book depository and got into a station wagon driven by someone else. He refused to change his story. He survived 2 different cars blowing up while starting them and later committed suicide. The numbers don't lie. I mean, you can go, and by the way, I think it should be just as troubling to all of us and just as tragic to all of us. How many of our nation's veterans commit suicide daily? I mean, but these are real suicides, people that actually have traumatic stress, not officers at the Capitol. That's just the most ridiculous thing ever, that the stress of the job led them to take their own lives. That's just stupid. Nobody believes that with any sense. And where'd you get it? You got it from the media.
I'll be honest. They become Capitol Police because it's the cushiest police job in the Capitol. You're not walking the dangerous streets of D.C. every night dealing with low-life thugs and criminals and carjackings and murders and everything else that goes on in DC. You're sitting in the Capitol Rotunda talking to tourists. That's it.
And Pete, actually, Jack Ruby was Jack Rubenstein. He just went by Ruby. Let's take this. We've got a call coming in from Canada.
Ooh. Good morning.
Good
Wade and
morning.
Carter Show.
Hey,
Johnny, what's going on?
Hey, Johnny Houghton. How are you, sir?
Johnny Houghton, deep undercover in some foreign
bad.
land. Are you undercover
I gotta
somewhere?
put this.
He's under the covers because it's probably still
Yeah,
minus 20.
I'm under the covers. I missed the big storm. I didn't get the snow. About 10 minutes north of but I gotta just this signal thing and all these comments are driving me crazy. I just want to put one thing to rest. Like, talking about bombing something is not top secret. Like, it's not.
Hadn't Trump
So,
already
I guess
said it?
if you-
Trump had already said we're going to take care of the
go back-
Houthis.
Well, but Trump doesn't.
Yeah, like, go back to all the different wars. Think of the Gulf War. The Secretary of Defense comes out and they talk about, oh, we're going to take action. They just don't tell you when, where, how, who. So
That's right.
any discussion openly about a bombing is not top secret. So everybody should just stop talking about it. Nothing was discussed in that was secret, top secret.
Well,
nothing. So
don't you feel
I just-
like the same people that are coming unhinged now are holding the Republicans to a higher standard than they held Hillary Clinton, President Biden? They're saying, hey, you know, what Joe did using Gmail for sensitive information and what Hillary did for
Two
getting-
Gmail accounts.
Yeah, and what Hillary did, you know, 100%. Johnny, we agree. First of all, how are you, sir? How are things in Canada?
well, I'm better than everybody 20 minutes north of me, so that's good.
There you go.
What's the feeling
I'm a
up
little
there?
jealous because I was going to say my wife's in Texas. She's on her way to Sweetwater to watch college rodeo.
Awesome.
How'd your son do in Alabama? I didn't get a chance to talk to Peyton after he left Goliad.
He finished in the money, and so he's now the 12th in the world in the permit. So it's like on the PRCA. So it's not the I'll call it the big whatever. He has his permit.
Yeah.
Then the next step up's the pro card. But so there's
He's on the Corn
the
Ferry
top
tour.
10 in the world.
Yeah, he's on the
Yeah,
Corn Ferry
Same
tour.
thing. But
Yeah.
so
Nice.
PGA
Yeah.
Canada. He's
So-
on the PGA Canada tour.
there you go. So
Awesome.
if he finishes in the top 10 for the season, there's the World Finals in Waco. So
Awesome.
hopefully he's
Hey,
there.
tell him that he's got fans in Texas and we're rooting for him.
If he gets to Waco, let me know. I think we can get up there for that one.
And you call us
Cool.
anytime, sir. Come see us again.
We got a guest stopped by,
I
so
will.
we got to run.
I'll-
Thanks,
I'll
Johnny.
be
Okay,
there.
bro. Thanks, Johnny.
I'll be there in April.
All
Okay,
right,
buddy.
sounds
Okay,
good.
take care.
And there's a guy who knows these things. He's served in NATO task forces. He's served as peacekeeping forces. He served in Afghanistan. He was deeply undercover in Afghanistan. Bro, should mention that.
So
Afghanis might
Tammy
wanna kill him.
tells you they don't tell you when until they use an unsecured channel to tell you. But see, they weren't on an unsecured channel. That's how the left throws out little things that words matter.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
Pete Ash wasn't right. I was right.
We were both right.
Rubenstein. True story.
Yeah. What's interesting with all of this stuff that's coming out with the Kennedy files is the number of countries that were involved, are involved, wanted things to be hush hush, like Australia. We can't let that go. We can't let that go. Shh.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike and Tammy, and I appreciate you guys having that conversation. We like to facilitate that conversation. And Mike Gomez, thanks for joining us. He does point out that Hillary was exonerated by the FBI in a Republican congressional hearing, and Patrick Strauss points out, absolutely, that doesn't mean she's innocent. It means that when it's all said and done and the damage
The
has already been
swamp is
done,
protecting the
the
swamp.
swamp protected the swamp, and there's no need to cause any more, discontent. They did not want people to be onto the swamp the way Trump has them on the swamp. So,
And we'll find out the swamp was involved in getting Jeffrey Goldberg into that chat, because there should have been no reason he's in that chat.
we're about to be joined here by a guest, and I just can't help but think that maybe like, when you have Velcro and like one's a hook and one's a loop.
Yep.
You got to hope that these two are both loops or both hooks, because there's enough curls between these two ladies that if they get their hair hooked up, it's like when you find those two deer and they're always end up in the water where their horns are hooked.
Well, and throw the dog in the mix.
Throw the doodle into the mix, and we would just they'd be fighting over morsels of food. How are you, ma'am?
I'm doing great. It's a great morning to be alive and to be on the Wade and Carter show.
Amen. Every day's a great day to be on the Wade and Carter show. That's why we come. Here, hold that up. You got 1,000 strong overcoming obstacles, 5 and 10K coming up on April the 12th.
I do. Yeah.
Tell us about it.
So it is a incredible, we call it an entry-level Tough Mudder. And so it is an obstacle, trail, mud, run. So we have permanent obstacles and we have pop-up obstacles, and we have a whole bunch of mud pits, and we're adding a cold plunge this year. So excited for the possibilities. But it's local. It's right, like hop, skip, and jump from here down the street at Patriot Park. And all of the proceeds go to support an incredible local grassroots ministry.
Tell them about that.
That ministry is Restoration House Ministries. They've been here for 16 years, loving on people, providing a safe place for them to heal at no cost to them. So when people come into the program,
up, says Velcro.
There's a adorable little puppy running
Oh
around
yeah,
here.
he's awesome, but he's just about her size, and she's like, I wanted to get down and play with him, but I'm not sure.
They split some oatmeal earlier and it went downhill.
I'm telling you. And so what I love about this is you're not just going to have an incredible time. It's a blast. The atmosphere of race day is just insane. But you're also going to make a difference, and you're also going to experience your own like powerful restoration and power you can take back to the rest of your life. I don't know if I've shared any of the stories from the race with y'all, but one of my favorites. Have I shared the story about the young man who ran it for the first time?
No, tell our audience.
Yeah. Short story. He approached his youth group guy and he was like, hey, I want to do more things that scare me. Will you guys help me do this race? And so his whole church sent 20 people to run with this guy on race day.
Nice.
So he does incredible. The story of that is also awesome, but that's not what I want to tell you today. A month after that, he lost his dad to suicide. And towards the end of that year, he said to his mom, he goes, I got the strength to walk through losing my dad running that race.
Amen.
And
pushing yourself and finding out what you're capable of.
I mean, and that's why we do this.
And the support of others.
Do they have like a 100-yard K where maybe I could just walk through some ankle deep water and then kick some mud? Y'all could throw mud on me and I get a t-shirt and a glass of orange juice.
Yeah. Listen, you can walk the whole thing if you want to. You don't even have to do any of the obstacles, and I'll still give you a t-shirt.
That is awesome.
Just sign up to race.
Speaking awesome.
Hey, speaking of t-shirts, if you want one of the t-shirts, they are super cool this year. And today is the deadline for that. We don't buy extra shirts. We are a little nonprofit, y'all.
Sure.
So if you don't sign up today, you do not get a t-shirt.
So tell them how to go. Now I know that I've got a QR code on this pamphlet.
It's a 5K and a 10 game.
They can sign up for $25 today.
No.
That
was early bird.
Okay, now
early bird flyer.
That's fine. Now it's $45.
Correct.
But you will get the t-shirt if you sign up today.
Correct.
And how can is there a website?
Well, the easiest way is to stop by 1,000 Strong Race, because you guys are already on Facebook right now, I'm assuming.
Yes.
If you're not on Facebook, then going to our website, yes, restorationhouseministries.org, and you'll find the registration link there.
There's a QR code that we have, but I don't know how to get that on the screen.
Yeah.
I'm looking up the Facebook page right now.
You're going to link it in? Aw, see? Don't we love techies?
That is awesome.
1,000 what race?
Strong. 1,000 strong.
1,000 strong.
Mm-hmm.
And this will be at Patriot Park, Saturday, April 12th. What time does it start?
8:00.
Okay.
But if you need it, you need to get there to check in. So that'll open up at 7 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah. Weather should be nice. I mean, it should be nice.
Should
right?
be, but
not cold, not hot.
No. You're gonna get there and have a hoodie on, and by the time the race starts, you're gonna have that pulled off, and you're gonna be running in a breeze.
Ash is coming. He'll be in a Speedo. You just
well, of course, less laundry to do when
with
I'm done, right?
Well, a little bitty Canadian maple leaf on it.
I mean, there's a reason why we do a cold plunge this year. Mud pits and a cold plunge, and there'll be people who are shooting you with your water guns. So we'll rinse you off.
That's awesome.
We got you covered.
It'll be a lot of fun, and it's for a great cause.
It is. And hey, I would be very remiss if I did not mention, we actually had a brand new sponsor coming on as an obstacle sponsor this year, DTAR Healthcare Systems.
Fantastic.
Actually approached us and was like, what's your race levels? I was like, yes, let me hook you up. And so Burns Ranch, Formosa Plastics, and St. Francis Episcopal Church are returning obstacle sponsors. Honestly, this would not happen without our community sponsors. So we're so thankful for them, because this is not right. We're not just making this race happen. We're supporting the ministries of Restoration House year long.
And you know,
and what are some of those ministries at Restoration House? Let's dive into that a little bit so people know exactly what Restoration House does or stands for.
So specifically right now, it is a women's home that is a residential program where women can come and live free of charge as long as they need, as often as they need, to heal from whatever trauma brought them in. And that's
awesome.
completely wide open. Completely wide open. So whatever it is,
judgment-free zone, counseling available.
Absolutely. No rules or requirements to get in besides that you want to be there and you are willing to stay. We have a 6-month minimum requirement stay because this kind of work takes time.
Amen.
It takes time. We are in the process of opening a home to do it for men. Super excited because nobody else is doing that kind of deep introspective work for men. We also started a resale shop, and I love it because we started it to like raise funds, and now it's become its own ministry. So it's giving out clothing and material goods and food. It does showers from the homeless every single day. So the homeless can come in there, they can wash their clothes, or they can get brand new clothes.
That's awesome.
It's incredible. Yeah. Love what we do. It's like everything that we do kind of starts to like continue what we're doing, and then it's just flowing back out.
Well, it's funny. It seems like
the community steps up and supports. That's the best part.
When you're doing good things, it does seem to me that God often blesses it. So hats off to you. And folks, and we'll promote it between now and April the 12th. But today's a great day to sign up. It's the last day to get the t-shirt.
And to be absolutely fair, you can show up on race day and register there, but I wouldn't.
Right. No, I understand.
Please register beforehand. And if you don't want to mess with it being online, reach out to our resale store. They'll get a hold of me, and I'll get you all through paper and cash. We like cash.
There you go. Absolutely.
We'll take your money.
Well, thank you for coming by.
So did Hunter Biden.
Yep.
I'm just kidding.
Do they do artwork? Thank you for coming by and for spending a few minutes with us. And we wish you nothing but success. Obviously, you seem happy and you're doing good things. So we appreciate you.
I appreciate that. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Carolyn. Appreciate it.
Have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Gives y'all a chance to walk back in front of the cameras. Bye, baby girl. Nice little girl.
I think Riker wanted all of her breakfast. That's where
well, that's probably what it is. Yeah.
So
isn't it interesting that Hunter Biden's paintings are no longer worth anything? Nobody's buying them anymore.
Well, they're not worth anything because they don't come with access to his father, who was president of the United States, which, by the way, is illegal.
Well, and because his art is crap.
Yeah.
Or maybe he wasn't even producing them.
Yeah. Kathleen Leininger points out that she is a great spokesperson. She does a great job.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting. We do a lot of tit for tat. If you look at the comments, you got folks saying that Hillary Clinton was innocent, and they refer to President Trump as a felon. What nobody gets is these woke leftist appointed judges all sign on to get President Trump labeled a felon with a bunch of garbage that would have never gone to trial anywhere else. And now that's all they want to refer to him as the felon, the convicted felon. It's all garbage. And yet Joe Biden goes out of his way to pardon anybody who might be labeled a felon from his administration.
Well, and not only that, he gives them preemptive pardons. And there was a question earlier, are you for pardons? I don't like the presidential pardon, to be honest. I think its intent and what it's now used for is completely out of whack. But until something changes, it's part of what, got to accept it. I don't like them. I speak against them all the time.
Right. Absolutely.
But when you preemptively pardon people like Joe Biden did for future crimes that they haven't committed yet, that's a problem.
Absolutely. Yeah. All crimes, now or later.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I agree that
I'm just waiting for one of these January 6 folks to sue one of the media outlets for referring to them as an insurrectionist when they've never been charged with insurrection.
I think
boy, that would be a fun slander or libel lawsuit.
That I was part of an insurrection.
That you'd probably win, to be honest.
At some point, the left would have to prove that these people all got together and colluded to create it. I promise you, if there's ever an insurrection, if there's ever an attack on democracy, you'll see a lot more than a bunch of ladies walking around with hats. So
yeah, and a bunch of people. Yeah, I mean, and you and I have been consistent on this. Those that broke windows to get into the building
should be arrested and charged.
Those that moved barricades,
arrested and charged. But charge them with trespassing. Don't allude that they're being charged with insurrection. Keep them for years without representation, without being charged in jail, and then wonder why the president says, I'm going to pardon them because they're Americans without due process.
And here's why they did that. They knew they could never get an insurrection charge to stick on any of these folks.
Right.
But they can call them insurrectionists because they're not going to face any repercussions.
That's right.
At all. So you can make the connection, and too many people in this country are too stupid to realize what's going on there.
Right. I agree with that. They're too dumb to, or they don't want to, their biases won't let them.
Absolutely.
Don't let them see the truth. Folks, see the truth. Stay in tune with Wade and Carter. We'll help you all we can. We'll take all the heat. Mike Gomez, thank you, sir, for checking in. I mean that sincerely. God bless you all. Have a great weekend. Watch the roads. Stay dry, and we'll see you on Monday.
Bye, folks.
Well, I've been kicked out of my near every bar around.